3, 2, 1.
We are live.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What happened to the music, Catherine?
Can you hear it?
Barely.
Barely. I should have put it on my TV.
Yeah.
Next time.
Okay, there we go. So, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday again.
It's already Wednesday. It's hot today.
Yeah, already.
How do we get here so fast?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. Time
It was
is
like Friday 2 seconds ago.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 seconds ago, right? 2 seconds ago. Can you believe that? So, wow. Good morning, Elizabeth. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. It's hot today. I can't even believe it. Yesterday was cold or gloomy or whatever. Well, it was cold to me. I was cold in the office. So
It was cold for a little bit.
It's cold. It's cold.
Yeah.
yeah. And today it's hot in here. So we should have played "It's Getting Hot in Here." That's how I feel.
Next time I'll play it on my TV so you can hear it. So it's like,
So it's a little bit louder. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
for sure.
Funny.
So welcome back to another Good Morning Vibes. Good morning. We're happy to have you guys join us. So we're going to get into a little real estate as always. Going to share with you some of what's going on in real estate. So Jessica, do us the honors.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's take a look.
Okay, so we have Eastvale up for you.
Yes. Here we go. So this week, just an update in Eastvale. So what we're looking at right now, currently, there is 67 homes available on the market, which to be honest is not very many, but hey, at least there's some, right?
Right.
There's 63 that went into contract. So everything is moving along just as it should.
Right.
25 homes have closed in the last 30 days in Eastvale. Average price is that selling is $633,520, and the average list price is $617,807. Which, what does that tell us? That buyers are overbidding and willing to pay more than what the prices are listed at. So there is a lot of competition out there. So make sure again that you guys are going out. You've already made sure you're pre-approved, you're solid, and you have the best, representation possible. Because right now, more than anything, that's what matters. As a listing agent, we get a lot of offers in, but I'll be honest with you, the agents disappear, the package is incomplete. It's really, unfortunate, so make sure that you're working with someone who's going to put in the work for you and work hard for you. So, because right now, very competitive, the multiple offers on most properties. So right now, knowledge and experience is absolutely key. And in Eastvale, it's been an average of 26 days on the market, which I'm sure as we like to check it weekly. So probably next week and the week after that, it's going to be a lot less because homes are selling within, hours to not within a week or so with it, on when they're put on the market. So that's what Eastvale looks like. And let's take a look at Chino. So Chino is there's 76 homes actively on the market. 33 are under contract and 29 are closed. Now in Chino, there's a little bit more of a variety because we do all of Chino and we don't really, say like this age or that age. Whereas Eastvale, pretty much everything it's a newer community. So a lot of the homes are alike. Whereas in Chino, they're not so much. So you have, older homes, you have newer homes, you have, homes with land, homes with not. I mean, you have condos, you have all kinds of different properties. So it's a little bit different. So the variety of the price range, if you notice, the list price was $590, but the average is $555. So there is a little bit of more negotiability. But again, it's not that every home has that in Chino. It's just that, again, some of them may have been, older, or some of them have, may need work because they, like I said, they are older homes. So that could be the reason. With an average of 25 days on the market, still a great market to be in. Chino's a beautiful city to live in as well. So, and we want to say good morning to Josie.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Josie.
And good morning to Patsy.
Hi, Patsy.
Miss
you, girl. Miss you.
Good
Hi.
morning, Katie. Good morning. Thank you
Good
guys for
morning.
joining us this morning. So let's go on to the next.
Catherine.
Oh, it says North Rialto. That's open. Uh-oh. Okay, well, this is Redlands. Okay.
Redlands.
All right, so this one, we're doing the city of Redlands. I do Redlands. That's my city. That's the one I grew up. I know it very well. And this one has 119 active listings on the market for this month. And that's actually pretty good. That's better than normal, but still it's the inventory is not as good as it should be around this time. And then pending right now, we have 58 that are pending and under contract. 42 have closed this month. And now the average list price is $592 and the average sale price is $555. So that's telling me that, basically there is still some negotiation room for buyers as well. So that's great news. But still, at the same time, you're still getting a pretty good amount as a seller as well. You're not losing too much equity there. And now the average days on the market is 30. So things are moving along quite fast and things are moving quickly. So if you're thinking about listing or selling or buying, now's the time to jump on it before they go and there's nothing left. I'm just kidding. But things are moving, so it's moving along quickly. So there you go. That's Redlands for you.
Good.
And I did East Highland, which is zip code 92346. And this is my market area. Homes in here typically do tend to go pending and under contract pretty quickly within the first week. I pretty much monitor them almost on a daily just because it's my area and I like to see, what comes out and what's going pending and everything else. So there are 73 active listings on the market, 42 that went pending. And this is for the month of May. I did all the month of May. So 22 of them closed. And then your average list price is $377 and your average sale price is $406. So that lets you know that the competition out there in East Highland is very strong and there's multiple people looking at the same property that other people are and overbidding on the properties. And the average days on the market is 23 days, which to be honest, I see them on a daily in this area, and 23 is a little lengthy for what I'm looking at. So I think that's just an average number, but yeah, it's moving very good and very fast. And if you are a buyer, definitely work with somebody that knows their area, knows what they're doing, and knows what you're looking for and which home you're really wanting, because you need somebody that's really going to push for it. So it's pretty much that.
Absolutely. So that's good to hear. So basically, if you look at everything, just in conclusion, is that the market is definitely moving. It's strong. We need more sellers. So if there's any sellers that are, even just have a thought that, is this a good time for me right now? Definitely give us a call. Let us know if you're, renting property and you want to look at those options as well. Just reach out to us. We do free consultations and we'll be happy to share any information with you guys. So that way you guys can determine what's best for you. And we have agents, as you can see, that represent, we're all throughout the Inland Empire, Los Angeles, Orange County. So we go everywhere. So we're available. We have experts in each city because we've all grown up or, know the city very well. So feel free to reach out to us and we're here to help you guys. So with that said, we want to say also, while Patsy said good morning, I guess for whatever reason, her her message didn't come across. So we hope to see you like really, really soon. So we wanted to kind of let everybody know right now, obviously, there's a lot of, emotions just riding very, very strongly. You know what? Obviously, everyone has the right to say what, how they feel. There's, no one can take that from us. But again, don't be upset when someone has a different opinion either. So it's just like, if you can't stand it, you get out of the kitchen type of thing. If you're going to say something, be prepared for someone to say something back. It's just the way it is. But we all need to respect one another and know that you don't have to like a person, but, we're raised to respect. You have to respect, and it's important for us as, as mothers, as role models, as people in the community to show and be leaders and, to spread love. And so I think that's so important, especially right now. Everybody's very angry, and I understand, and I get that too. But a lot of things can't be changed by certain behaviors. So we need to figure out what's the best way and stick together. We're all in this together. We all pay for it equally. And I think that's the part where a lot of us, misunderstand. But, we damage our own, our own cities. We're damaging our own places where we live. It affects everything around us. So we just, again, wanted to, just let everyone know that love and peace is hard to come by, but it's so important to stay positive. And if you're surrounded with people who don't have that intention, then remove yourself and find the right people who are your people, that are going to support your beliefs and help you, become a better person. So we have a very, very special guest with us today, and we're very, very grateful. Jessica, if you want to bring him on, Anthony is a local police officer with Chino. And hi, Anthony, thank you so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate it. And we want to ask you just some questions. We know that it's a very sensitive subject, and we know, obviously you guys have feelings, you guys have families to go home to. So there's a lot of things going around. So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. And I don't know how you guys do this every Wednesday. I had to get a makeup person for my shiny head. I had to get an IT person. You guys run a great show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on, Sonia. Appreciate it.
Yes. So Jessica, I don't know, do you want to read the questions, Jessica?
Yes. So one thing we did want to ask, what can we do as a community just to keep ourselves and our businesses safe? There's a lot of people. So far, I know Chino is peacefully protesting. I don't know if you saw anything different or. Yeah,
there's a to keep yourself safe, I would say just, be smart about what you do. We live in these crazy times. Everybody, I think being on quarantine for 3 months didn't help the situation.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, if you know there's a violent protest going on or people are looting in a certain area, don't go there. Don't drive your family into that situation. There's a lot of peaceful protests. A lot of those you won't see on the news because it doesn't make good media. So when there is peaceful protests, they don't get put on the news as much as the violent protests. So there's a lot of good people out there protesting for the right reasons, and that's their right. And I think they should be doing it. And as far as us as citizens and civilians, just do the right thing. If there's a business that's been damaged, go offer to help clean it up. We all got to work together. We're all in this together. And the quarantine was the same way. We went through a long 3 months of quarantine, and it wasn't easy on anybody. But I think right when we got to the end of it, we got off. I feel like a 5-year-old again. We're on restriction. Now we're on curfew.
Time out.
When did I get grounded? I didn't know. Nobody told me about it. But that's where we're at now. And we got off quarantine somewhat, and now we're on curfew. So we just got to roll with the punches. But the main thing is just to be a good person and see what you can do for your neighbors, see what you can do for your family. And, just don't the anger is there. Everybody's looking at someone to be mad at, whether it be over the quarantine thing, over the situation going on with the protests and with the unlawful death of George Floyd.
Right.
So everybody's tension is really high. I think that in this, we just need to work together and try to find a solution and talk to each other. If somebody has different beliefs with you, try to talk to them and figure out how can we work this out together. Let's come up with a solution. Let's be a leader. And I think people have to take that lead and lead by example. And I think we're getting there. There's people talking and people are trying to understand other people's point of view, whether it be social media or not. But I think we'll be okay. It's just, this is history repeating itself, and it's unfortunate, but we all just got to love each other and help each other out. That's what it comes down to. Just be a good person.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah,
Absolutely.
there's a lot of peaceful protesting.
Yeah, there is,
Okay.
and that's like you mentioned, Anthony. You made a really great point that the media does focus on the worst things,
Right.
and that's that's honestly why I think TV went downhill. Like a lot of people don't want to pay for TV or cable anymore because we could see all of that on Facebook or on any other social media outlet.
Yeah.
And I think it's just it's unfortunate what they try to do, to us as a community. And you're absolutely right. There is a lot of peaceful protesting because there's other ways of us getting that information as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like you said, we totally are for that. For people to speak their minds. They have their rights. But when they're putting other people's lives in danger, it's not. That's not the solution. At this time. So
Yeah,
so
personally, I try to not watch the news that much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to go on my social media as much. I know for real estate agents, that's not possible. You guys need your leads. But if there's negative people on there, you always have the option to block them, delete them. I like on my social media, open it and only see positive things. Whether we have different beliefs or not, I just want positive vibes. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
there's a way to come across, to say your opinion about how you feel, like you said, without being negative. Because everyone, that's why we have a variety of choices. You have so many choices, and not everybody likes, one thing. And I think that's why that's the beauty. We're all unique. We all like different, food, different music, different whatever it is. And like I said, that's the nice thing about having the option when you turn on the radio or your Spotify or what have you. It's like you have the choice to choose what you want to listen to, and it should be the same thing. You're saying, you can spread your belief, but you don't have to be negative or enforce your belief on someone else. Just let everyone make up their mind. Given the fact, you still have the right. Sometimes with our kids, I want to choke them out because it's like we know better, but what do? They have to learn for themselves sometimes, and because we too have to remember that they do have their own way of thinking. They do have their own perspective on stuff. Even though you think, wow, you were raised in my household. What makes you think that? But again, it's a lot of outside influences as well. They're not only watching us, they're watching their teachers. The stuff on social media and stuff like that. And I think there's a lot of pressure right now on social media for our kids to be these people, to have these lifestyles. So there's a lot, I think that's what happens. And like you're saying, the media shows all this, bad coverage. So then, maybe it gives other people ideas. Hey, let's do it here. Let me be the leader in my community, but not a good leader. It's, anybody can be a bad leader. We need good, solid leaders, in our community.
Absolutely.
So,
But I think
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jessica.
Sorry. I think it's a good thing sometimes. You guys, your generation, you guys raised people and individuals that stand up for what's right, that stand up for people, and like it's not necessarily a good thing. It's just a test to your guys' parenting. You guys are raising people that stand for good and just stand for what they believe in. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing sometimes, but there's definitely a different way to do things. So I hope everyone is just staying safe and just protesting peacefully. We don't need our community to be torn down or anything. You know, like there's a way to get your message across. And like you said, just be kind. That's all we need to do to each other, really.
And you know,
Yeah.
a lot of these cities don't have the money for rebuilding. You know, San Bernardino doesn't have the money for rebuilding. They were already in a hole, and now you got people that put it on fire and destroyed every building of people that put their last savings into building something, and it just gets me upset. But I think that this loading, what is it called? Looting and rioting and in the not peaceful way, I think is unnecessary, very unnecessary. So.
Yeah, I agree. I'll give my little 2 cents now. But I this is what I told my kids, and I stand by it. I said, like, I don't mind if you protest. If you want to go out there peacefully protest, do it. I said, but if I find your ass hurting someone, breaking something, you better believe I'm going to be down there beating your ass in front of everybody, and I don't give a what. So that's how I am. That's how I roll. And I was like, I'm a mom, and I'm going to teach you right from wrong. I don't care if no one likes it or people do like it. If you don't like it, you don't have to follow me. You can leave my Facebook. I don't care. This is what I'm raising, and I'm raising people that respect one another. And that is the whole point. The officer that killed that man, George, that is wrong, and he wasn't raised right. So how am I I have to raise my kids, and that's what I'm doing. You don't hurt someone because someone hurt you. Like, that's not the way to go about it. Revenge is never the way to respond. So yes, do tempers flare? I get it. There's going to be some anger. I totally understand it. If it was my child, I'd be upset too. So I get it. But hurting someone else innocently that does not deserve it is not the way to go about it. I'm sorry. I don't agree, and I never will agree. That's just not me. The way to go, I feel, is love and respect them, and do something good positively to counter that. That's what I would say. Counter it. Like, if the media would actually show people that are actually good, and cops that are like with the people and loving them and all that stuff, like, how much more would this whole atmosphere change instead of just showing the bad? You know what I mean? Because there's not everyone's bad. I'm sorry. I refuse to believe that. And so that's just my opinion. If you like it, leave it, throw it out the window. I don't care. But this is just my opinion. That's how I am. So
I think we need more mothers like her.
Yeah.
I'll touch on the business thing. I forgot to answer that question. Your actual business, to protect it. I know, Sonia, you guys, have a business and you have belongings you would like to stay in there. So I believe it just comes down to the city that you're in and what's going on. Just pay attention. If you think there's something going on around your business where they might break into it, you have the right to protect it. But at the same time, your items in there aren't worth your life. And we've seen that in the news, that people are getting killed trying to protect their business. So I would say the best idea is to board it up, have some friends help you take your belongings out. And if they break in, they break in. It's not worth your life. So just be smart about how you protect your business out there, and pay attention to what's going on in your city. And, there's always that cleanup that people will come together and they will help you clean your business, but they can't bring your life back. So just be smart about that. My personal opinion on the George Floyd thing is, I'll be the first one to be upset when there's a bad cop. People that follow me on my social media have seen that. There was one out in LA a couple weeks back where the officer, I think he was Hispanic, started punching the other Hispanic suspect he had for no reason. And I was the first one to speak out on that and say that was bull crap. I don't agree with that. That was a punk move. So the officers that are out there, if there's bad ones, they deserve murder charges, like in this case that we're talking about with George Floyd. I want them prosecuted just like everybody else. And, and the people that are out there protesting are good people. And it's unfortunate that we're starting in Minneapolis, that they didn't get their voice heard because it got overlooked by the looting and the rioting, and the real protesters didn't have a voice at that point. Even George Floyd's brother came out and said, my brother wouldn't want this to happen. So we just got to know, do what's right, and don't get caught up in the media turning our races against each other.
Right.
Because we're all the human race. We're all one. We're all in it together. And we just need love. That's it. It's pretty simple to me, but we're just one person. All we can do is work on ourselves and our kids. Our kids are the main thing we should worry about. If we have kids right now, is how they're gonna get through life, and if we can bring them the right way and raise them the right way, that when we're not here, they do the right thing and they raise their kids how we raise them.
Right.
That's what I worry about most, is my kids right now and what they're seeing out there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
I think, and Anthony, you can comment on this, but I think a lot of people, what they don't realize is, right now everybody's upset, at, police, but they don't realize, who's there when they, if there's an emergency, what are they doing? They're dialing 911. They're looking for your help. And not only that, you guys, made a pledge to, get up and show up to work, no matter what the circumstances. You don't know what you're going to face on a daily basis either. So every day when when you're either patrolling or you're showing up to something or whatever it is that you do, there's so much risk involved. So I think that we don't really see that, or, because we don't know. But I'm sure if we patrolled with you, I'm sure we would see some of the evilness that's out there.
Yeah.
I have clients who work in law enforcement as well, and actually me and Brenda share a mutual one, who won't have children because of, what they've been exposed to and what they see on a daily basis. And again, this is something we don't. We're selling homes. We're out here making the American dream come true. And so we see the beauty part of life, but we don't see what goes inside homes. And I'm sure, there's things that take place in houses that aren't the best, and that you guys have to show up to scenes where I'm sure it's difficult for you to even swallow at times. So I think, speaking for myself, I have, utmost respect and admire that you guys, continue to do the job no matter how hard it gets. And I think we're all human, not making excuses, but if someone, got in my face, I don't know how I would I would be, react like, but I understand you guys are trained, to be, responsive in a different manner and stuff like that. So, but like I said, you never know what you're going to come across when you're out there. So we have a few comments, so let's take a look really quick. So I don't know who this is. Because they didn't go on the link of StreamYard. Okay, so Alicia said there's good cops and bad cops. Respect for the good is what's needed. Absolutely. I agree 100%.
100%. Right.
100%. And good morning
To whoever.
Good morning. Thank you for your service, Anthony. I appreciate you being out there serving our communities. God bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then,
I think more of us need to stand up and say that too. Like I went to the Scottsdale, Arizona. I was on vacation, and there was stuff going on over there too.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were leaving dinner, there was cops out there, and they were patrolling, and they looked like they're like, "What are you guys doing?" And I was like, "Look, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for all what you do. There's just know that there are people that really do appreciate you, and that not everyone is against you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I think when they're in the mix, sometimes people, all they see is the negative, and they don't see like, hey, there are people that really do care and love and honor you.
They're already on edge too. You're like, how am I going to be approached?
For sure.
I don't know.
And you know what? Go into that too, and I think that's every job. When you see your mailman out there delivering your mail, go take them a water. When you see your FedEx driver come, well, unless they lose your package like me, don't take them a water. You can every truck driver, anybody. We just need to be better people, and it's not just towards police; it's towards everybody.
Everyone, yes,
do a kind act, and they get surprised sometimes. You take your mailman a water, they're looking at you like, "Wow, that hasn't happened in a while." or just do something kind for somebody that is in your community that you know. Like maybe you go pick up your clothes from the cleaners, take them, you know, some coffee or something. The little acts go a long way, and people don't realize that. I know we get busy in our life and we'll hustle, especially you guys. So I know, you know, you don't have a lot of time, but, you know, once in a while, if you run across somebody that you go taking your clothes to the cleaners, take them a thing of Starbucks, and just the little things like that go a long way.
Yeah.
I've noticed that personally with me.
True.
Yeah.
That's very true. I think
I had
sometimes we forget
a box of snacks for our UPS and FedEx guys, and I had snacks and waters, and I put it on my front door, and I just put a sign on the box, you know, like, help yourself, thank you for dropping off my packet, you know, stay cool. And then I would just put waters, but they would leave little sticky notes on my door, like, thank you, that was so sweet. They would run back to their car, drive a little, you know, write a little note. Or I have a ring doorbell, so I could see them, and they're like, you know, like all happy, and they, you know, you could just tell it made their day by like, what? There's water here, juices, you know, like it's small things. So
yes, and every like Anthony says, every little small gesture counts. You know, everything
absolutely
counts.
I
Absolutely.
think sometimes we forget we're human. Like everybody is human. Like they still go home to their families at the end of the day. Everybody does. Everybody has a mom, a brother, sister, everything. So all those little acts of kindness, they definitely go a long way. Definitely.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, the main thing is just one person doesn't define a group. That's the main thing we just got to remember. I've been robbed at gunpoint by a certain race, and I never held that against that race. They could have had a mask on for all I cared. They were just a criminal that did a bad act.
Right.
There's sometimes when you gotta, you know, just know it was an act by one individual, not the whole group in general. And that's the way we have to look at it, and hopefully that one person is held accountable for their actions. That's how I think of my daily life, not as a cop, but as a person.
Right.
Yeah, and you know what? Like you said, that I actually was robbed at gunpoint myself, and it was with multiple races, so it just wasn't with one. And and like you said, you know what? It's a learning lesson, and it's something, like you said, your life is not worth it. You know, give them whatever it is that they want, and you know, you know, obviously the experience you never forget. You know, but even getting into, like you said, you know, that one person doesn't define everyone, and that goes with us too as realtors. You know, about a year ago, there was a realtor who was charged. I mean, I'm sure there's more, but this is the one that was the media focused on. You know, that she had stolen over $1 million in buyers' deposits. And so, you know, she was on trial. And again, this is something that, and to be very honest, it's not hard to do in our business because people trust us with their money. But again, is it something that everybody's going to do? No. So it's just important that, again, you choose who you work with, but one or a certain percentage of bad people doesn't define the rest of, define the rest of the industry. So I think it's important just to do your homework and know who it is that you're working with. So that way, you know, you avoid anything like that.
Yeah.
And just try to do the right thing, you know, respect and everything else. That's why, you know, I always tell my kids, you know, I know it's hard, you know, you guys, you know, why is there, you know, there's stop signs as soon as you walk outside the door, you know, there's speed limits, you have to be in school at a certain time, you know, because there's rules everywhere you go, and it's because they're setting you up for life. You know, your life is going to be based on following rules. That's just the way it goes. So as a parent, we have to instill those rules in our home so that way when they leave and want to fly, they're not like, what the heck's going on? Like, all of a sudden I have to listen to people. It's like, no, this is something they're used to, and they're respectful, and, you know, and especially respecting, you know, your elders and authority and stuff like that. So we're not always going to be agreed upon who our president is or who our vice president is, but that doesn't mean we disrespect them. You know, we have to respect them and do, maybe next time, do what we have to do to get our voice heard, you know, so someone else is elected who we, you know, want more. But by disrespecting and doing those things, it doesn't solve anything. You know, that it's not the answer. You know, we can say a lot of negative things about one another, but what is that going to accomplish? You know, it's not going to accomplish anything. So I think putting in the right work is what we need to do. So that way, hopefully we can get further, with putting in the right work. So that's just my opinion.
No, I love that, Sonia. That was great because that's true though. Like we all live with rules and boundaries, and they're meant to protect us. That all of us are. So, and as our kids are going to learn that as they grow up, and if they don't know it, that's when they start doing stuff like this. Like with no rules and boundaries, not realizing like, hey, this is affecting you too. Like it all affects everybody, and it sucks. But yes, I love that you brought that up because that's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
Especially for our kids.
So how long do you think this curfew thing is going to go on for?
I hope not much longer. I want to get out of here.
I'm like, dude, I'm tired of this curfew. It's ridiculous.
I know. If it's not one,
I'm
it's the
glad
other.
I'm glad that I don't eat after a certain time, because otherwise I'd be in trouble, because by the time I eat off, everything's closed.
Hey, there's always a positive side to everything.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly. And it doesn't tempt me to go to the
This
store.
is just setting you up for the right lifestyle.
Right.
Oh man.
It's not always great though. I tried to go to McDonald's like 2 days ago, and I was like, "What the heck? I'm hungry. I don't want to go home and cook."
It's just a sign, Jessica, that you are not meant to eat that.
I know, but I didn't want to go home and cook. I was like, "Oh, I'm tired. I just want to go to sleep." But
Yeah.
yes,
That's awesome.
I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is, but thank you for commenting.
Yes, very true. Very true.
And then Alicia, thank you guys for joining in on us. We appreciate it very much for you guys supporting us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Anthony, how I mean, obviously, like I said, as a police officer, when how do you guys, how are you feeling right now? Like, as far as like, everybody's sticking together. Is that correct? As far as your guys' unit and stuff like that, like everybody's strong and sticking together.
Yeah, everybody is staying positive.
Good.
We understand the situation. We understand everybody's angry. It's basically trying to get people to understand that it was one officer that acted this way, or four.
Yeah, for
Yeah, so about 4 officers, but that doesn't make it right. To do other things. I believe it was in St. Louis, the old captain or chief was killed trying to protect some TVs from a shop.
That's sad.
that ticked me off.
That's sad.
One death, one horrible death that shouldn't have happened to George Floyd. And now we're having multiple deaths of the same race and other races that don't need to happen over
For
people's
no reason. Yeah.
And there's other ways to do it. Basically, me personally, I've had a lot of friends reach out to me that are Black and direct message me on Facebook, and we have nice civil conversations, and we're trying to figure out ways that we can sit down together and be a leader or a helpful hand and figure something out. So as officers, we're trying to stay positive, but personally, me, I just, my thing is I like talking to my friends, and I like sharing my side of how I think, and they share their side of how they think. And 2 people can have different opinions and still, at the end of the day, get along and say, hey man, let's work together. Let's get this resolution going. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of training that can be done for officers, with officers on this topic. There can be training, put us in their situation and let us see how they feel. There can be training on the other side. Let the citizens put on a police uniform and go through the training of making a split-second decision when someone doesn't want to put down a weapon and they're coming at you.
Yeah.
So I think, hey, put the sides that don't agree, put them together, let them go through each other's shoes and see, maybe they'll understand a little bit better of, okay, this is what that person's going through. This is what this person's going through.
Right.
There's a lot of things that can be done. It's a little over my head as far as, my pay scale, but, I'm always thinking, I'm always talking to my friends, and that's all we can do is have peaceful talks and try to help each other out. And, at the end of our conversation, hey, love you, brother. Hope everything's good with your family. And that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
definitely.
that's good.
It goes a long way too, just to have an understanding. Sometimes we just want to be heard, and it's nice to have someone sit down with us and really hear our point of view, or whatever it may be. We don't have to agree, like you said, but it's nice to even have that voice, or that other person actually listen to you. So thank you for that. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it should be. I mean, people should be able to voice their opinion, either way, it doesn't matter, and not feel ridiculed for having a different opinion, because, and then sometimes I found when I voice my opinion, I have others on the opposite side that say something else and say something that's contrary and tries to make me sound racist, and I'm not racist, not at all, not at all. And then they start talking about me being Mexican and talking about how I'm horrible, and saying that I'm, they started calling me racist names. So I was like, how are you going to try to tell me I'm racist because I think that looting and rioting are wrong, yet you're calling me racist names? So that doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like that is totally contrary to what we're trying to get here. We're trying to find some peace and middle ground. And when, people fight over opinions, it's really silly. Like, we need to come together at this time. There should not be any division. Division never breeds peace. We need unity at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Love is probably the only way that's going to happen. More hate and more fighting and more looting, rioting is never going to solve the problem. Never. It won't. It'll just continue and continue. So, but I guess the media hasn't got the memo yet. So, we'll get it.
I mean, we went from coronavirus, where everybody was being, helpful, resourceful, kind to each other, helping, and and to this.
To another extreme.
Yeah, a whole another extreme. Like, everybody was helping each other. They didn't care if you were Black, Hispanic, whatever. Like, everybody was helping each other out, But now it's like we're on a whole nother level.
Yeah,
it's.
I know. I was even telling my sister, like a week ago, we went to the store when things were finally opening up. I think we went to Kirkland's, and just the level of kindness that we were seeing just with each other was different. It was so nice. Like, people holding doors for each other, people,
I think people
taking the time, to really appreciate one another. It was really nice. I even commented to my sister, like, wow, everyone is a little bit kinder, and it's nice. Like, it's really, really nice to see.
Yeah. I think the stuff that was taken for granted at some point, where, you're appreciating once it started slowly opening up, and you're like, oh, okay, let me tip that waiter a little bit more, or let me, tip my pizza guy a little bit more. Like, it's those little things that you're like, okay, I'm going to be nicer. But now we're in a whole other world.
Yeah,
I saw a post. Someone said, June 1st or whatever it started, and then they're like, welcome to Jumanji level 6 or something. Like, I was like, oh my God. It's totally true, because it's like, what's next? Like, it's just like one thing after.
I sent Jessica something I want her to put up, because I saw this yesterday. She's gonna list this. I thought this was funny, but funny, not so funny. So it says 2020 so far: January, talk of World War III and tensions with Iran. February, coronavirus. March, Carol, basket. that whole thing, right?
I don't want to know what July is going to be like.
I know. And so then it says here, murder hornets. I don't even know what the heck happened to those. That didn't stick. And then June.
Right, looting and Target is literally targeted.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah. What's next for July?
We already had aliens, remember?
Let's just fast forward to 2021. I'm over 2020.
I'll grow another year quick. That's cool.
I'm kind of scared. What if 2021 continues like this? Then what are we going to do? Fast forward to 2022?
Get this
I don't know if I could take another year of this.
No.
Yeah.
I heard someone say like the Murder Hornets was just a filler episode because everybody was like, "What happened to those?" They're like, "Oh, that was just a filler episode. We needed something exciting." I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
It's all the media. It's all the media. I'm telling you, I can't watch it. I don't have cable. I won't. I refuse to get it.
I mean, I don't think it's cable. You could do any local, but at the same time, it's on your phone. It's on your social media. People are feeding into the negativity, right? If you're a person you're going to repost all the negative stuff, you're feeding into it. And whichever way you look at it, right? You repost something that's negative, guess what? You're now contributing to that negativity. So a lot of people that follow me, you'll see I don't post any of that stuff, not because I don't want to agree or disagree with it. I just choose not to put more negativity out there. If it's something positive, great, but negative is, I'm so over it. I'm so like, can we just move on? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Another thing is too, from my experience talking to family or Facebook friends, so many people have cut off their family members and their friends over this, that they've just, they've spoken to them in a way that you can't take it back. And they're just so mad at each other that it's dividing families. And that's like, family's like most important thing you have.
Right.
So for me to see that or read that, it was sad. I'm like, man, when it comes between your family and it had nothing to do with your family, it was an outside thing, and you let your emotions get that much involved that you cut off a family member, is really sad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, and some things you can't unsay. So be cautious with your words sometimes, because we're all human, and some people can really be hold a grudge. I'm not a grudge holder, but some people can, and some things that you may think are not insensitive or not, you know what I mean? They're not that harsh. Somebody else could take it like, oh, that was really, targeted towards me or personal. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
It's definitely a huge thing to be taking
Eat
serious.
some margaritas after this is over.
What?
I said we're all gonna need some margaritas when this is over.
I don't think
This during happy hour.
We don't need sugar. We just need straight up hard.
Yep.
Like a week ago, things just started opening, so I was like, okay, I could actually go to a restaurant and sit down now. And now it's like, okay, 6 o'clock, you're done. Bye, get out of here. Like,
You can. You just have to go for breakfast or lunch.
And be back home by 3.
At least we'll get happy hour prices.
Yeah, they need to move happy hours up because people, could go earlier.
That's right.
crazy.
Next thing you know, they're gonna be like, it's 3 o'clock somewhere instead of it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I don't know. I went away for the weekend and I came back with a curfew, and I literally felt like I was in another world, and I didn't go very far.
Yeah, no sports.
No Dodger games. I'm with you, Patsy, like that.
What?
She said no.
That's a good point she made. That's a really good point she made. If you guys notice, when sports is around, things are a lot calmer. And I'm not being sarcastic or funny, but people get so occupied in sports that they'd rather watch football on a Sunday than go protest or loot or be on Facebook arguing with their friends. Like Sunday, you're not going to get me away from the TV. That's where I'm at. And I think that's with baseball games, basketball games,
football.
We can't.
True. It's true.
Concerts and everything. We need our movies back. We need everything back. And I think that'll help.
People need their jobs back. People that are out there. I mean, protesting is great, like, for a cause if you're peacefully protesting. But if you have nothing better to do and you're destroying and doing harm to other people and other things, like, you need to go get a job. Because if you have that much time to go and do that, no.
Yeah, you'll be paid.
You have too much time.
Blessed differently, We all pay for everything we do, so
yes,
it's a fact.
Karma comes back.
Well, what? My thing is, we were all worried about the coronavirus. Everybody was wearing masks. Everybody was, afraid to leave their house. And now we have millions of people out in the world, with no mask, no nothing, and they're just out there. And nobody's worried about coronavirus now. It's like, I don't get it. It didn't go away.
I I heard there's a lot more new cases now
Yeah.
because of everyone out there, and it's like it's still out there. It didn't just go away because something else took over.
Well, the thing is,
So,
they're fighting. A lot of people that are doing this damage or protesting or looting the cities. They're putting their own life at risk when that's something that you should be very grateful for in this time of the year. Not having to go through coronavirus or whatever. Like, you're fighting for somebody else's life that died, but you're putting your own life in danger at the same time. Like, what happens if you die because of something? You know what I mean? Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, peacefully protest, great, but take your precautions. But I don't agree with this whole curfew and looting and rioting, and I'm just one person, but I don't agree with it.
Yeah. Me either. So, well, thank you again, Anthony. We really appreciate you being here and hearing your perspective and your insight. Again, we appreciate your hard work that you put in, and not you and everyone else. And thank you so much, because I know that the first person I would dial is 911 if I need help. So, I appreciate it very, very much.
And
and
also
much respect to you.
the firefighters too that are out there.
Yeah.
They're out there with nothing on their duty belt. They don't have a gun. They don't have.
Right.
So they're really vulnerable too. So them as well. We want to thank them and paramedics, everybody that's out there. But my final closing thought would be just do something nice for somebody today. Take your own water. Take your UPS guy water. Do something for one person a day, and it goes a long way. Like Brenda said, it probably made that guy's day. He had a smile. And then they pass that forward. They pass it on, and it's contagious. So it's contagious. That's what we need to do. And I thank you for having me, Sonia. And this was a great topic to talk about, and a positive talk about that.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah. Thank you, Anthony. Okay. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So that was awesome. So, speaking of, getting some good advice and some good, good stuff in your brain and your mind, just a reminder, tomorrow we're going to be live again at 7 p.m. So this time you can be at home and enjoying, your favorite drink or just relaxing at home, but from the comfort of your home. Please join us. We've invited Dr. Ambler Sterling. She's a psychologist who's going to talk about, just a variety of topics in regards to self-care and just how to emotionally, I think we need to be emotionally strong right now. And a lot of times we have a lot of self-doubt. We get in depression. There's just a lot of, humans are emotional, and that's just how we're built. So, but everybody handles emotions differently. So I think it's important for us to seek the care when we need to. So hopefully you guys can join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Again, live here on our page. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
And do what you can, like you said, to spread some love today. And
right.
Unless you guys have anything else to say.
No.
Brenda, Catherine.
Just take care of yourselves. Be kind to one another. That's the one thing. Just be kind to one another. Spread love, even if you feel a different perspective. Just be kind. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you guys.
Well, I'm sorry. Real quick, just one thing, really quick. What I would say, obviously, yes, definitely spread love, spread kindness, but realize that you can't change anyone, their opinion, what they want, whatever it is, but you can change you and your family and your dynamics there. And it starts there anyways, right? So start there. Start with you and how you respond and how you react and how you spread love, and that will gravitate to you naturally. So that's what I would say, for sure.
Okay. And Alicia said for us to check out her nonprofit Facebook page, Spreading Hope, Love, and Kindness, the Hopeful Goodie Bag. So we'll do. Thank you so much, Alicia, for tuning in.
Thank you, Alicia.
So thank you guys again. Have a beautiful day. And here we go.
Oh, whoa, what are you doing?
I know. He's like, here we go. We all like, wait a minute.
Hold on, I'm trying to find this part. Hold on, here we go, right here. Hold on. Even it takes me away.
Yeah, right now
What a day.
I'm going on vacation. I swear. After all this,
I should have booked the week.
Massage day.
I'm gone.
Okay, you guys have a good day. Thank you guys for joining us.
Bye.
Thank you for joining.
Have a good day.